Let's get something straight right now. Life is not a perfectly curated Instagram feed. It's not a motivational poster with a soaring eagle and some cheesy quote about reaching for the stars. Real life is messy. It's complicated. It's full of unexpected detours, faceplants, and moments where you question every single decision you've ever made. The problem is, we spend so much time looking at everyone else's highlight reel that we forget they have a behind-the-scenes full of garbage fires, just like we do. We've been sold a lie that happiness is the default state, and anything less is a failure. This is pure, unadulterated bullshit. The truth is, everyone gets dealt a crappy hand sometimes. You're not special in your suffering. That might sound harsh, but it's actually liberating. The universe isn't singling you out to screw with you personally. The sooner you accept that pain and struggle are inevitable parts of the human experience, the sooner you can stop running from them and start using them for something useful. Remember that time in school when you studied your ass off for a huge exam? You pulled all-nighters, drank enough coffee to kill a small horse, and you could recite the textbook backward. You walked into that classroom feeling like a god of knowledge, ready to conquer. And then you got the test back, and a big fat F was staring back at you, mocking your very existence. The feeling sucks. It's a gut punch. But here's the thing about that big red F. It's just data. That's it. It's not a judgment on your inherent worth as a human being. It's feedback. This is the fundamental choice we face with every failure, big or small. We can let it crush us, or we can let it teach us. The person who gets back up after failing that test and figures out a new way to study is the person who eventually passes. Let's talk about another kind of pain. Let's talk about losing a friend. This is someone you shared secrets with. Someone who saw you at your best and your absolute worst. You probably thought they would be in your life forever. And then, one day, they aren't. The calls become less frequent, the texts go unanswered, and suddenly, you're strangers with a shared past. Here's a hard truth. Sometimes people just grow apart. The person you were at 16 is not the person you are at 26. Your values change, your priorities shift. Ultimately, this kind of loss teaches you about your own resilience. You learn that your sense of self-worth cannot be entirely dependent on another person's presence in your life. You learn to be your own anchor. Everyone loves the idea of personal growth. We buy self-help books, watch motivational TED Talks, and make New Year's resolutions. We love the idea of becoming a better version of ourselves. But what we often conveniently ignore is that real growth is not a pleasant, inspiring montage set to upbeat music. It's an ugly, uncomfortable, and often painful process. It's not about adding new, shiny habits on top of your existing self. It's about shedding skin. It's about letting parts of your old self die to make room for something new. Emotional and psychological growth works the same way. It requires you to confront your own bullshit. It forces you to look at your flaws, your biases, and your bad habits without flinching. The lessons that truly change us are never the easy ones. These experiences suck. There's no way around that. But they are also the most potent catalysts for meaningful change. Here's a secret that happy people understand. Life is never free of problems. The difference is that they are solving problems they enjoy solving. They have chosen their struggle. Someone who wants to be a successful artist chooses a specific set of problems. They choose the problem of financial insecurity, constant rejection from galleries, staring at a blank canvas with no inspiration. But they choose these struggles because the act of creating art is so meaningful to them that the problems are worth it. Compare that to someone who hates their office job. They have problems too. A micromanaging boss, boring work, a soul-crushing commute. But they didn't choose these problems. They feel like these problems chose them. This concept applies to everything. Want a great relationship? Then you have to choose the struggle of difficult conversations, of compromising, of dealing with another person's baggage and loving them anyway. The path to a better life isn't about avoiding sacrifice. It's about choosing which sacrifices are worth making for the rewards you desire. Choose your struggle, and you'll find that the struggle itself can become a source of meaning and, dare I say it, happiness. So, what are you supposed to do when you're in the middle of it and everything feels like it's on fire? Let's talk about some simple, practical shit you can do to navigate tough times. This isn't about toxic positivity, it's about building a raft to get you through the storm. First, focus on what you can control. You can control whether you eat something healthy today, whether you go for a 5-minute walk, whether you call a friend. This simple act can take you from feeling powerless to feeling capable. The most exciting part of all this is that you haven't met the best version of yourself yet. That person is waiting for you on the other side of your next big challenge. The version of you that is kinder, wiser, more courageous, and more loving is forged in the very difficulties you might be dreading right now. The tough times are not a detour from your life. They are the path. They are what carve you into something more interesting, more durable, and more beautifully complex. They are what make your story worth telling. Now go out there and live it.